Hey guys, it's Vanessa from Unmasked. This is just going to be a shorter video to just go over the newest developments in the Delphi murders. There have been some very interesting developments in the case in the past 24 hours. If you haven't watched parts 1 and 2 of these videos, please do. They're both fairly short, and each video kind of builds off the one before it, and they might answer any questions that you have. I've linked both of the videos in the description below. Before we get started, please don't forget to take a second and hit that like, subscribe, and the notification bell. And then when you're done, share this video everywhere you can. All of the very free and easy things you can do to help me to be able to continue to put out content for you. Okay, let me just start by saying in this country, everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So I do understand that. I think we all know that. So maybe I just avoided 100 comments of that in the comment section below. Of course, I understand that nobody is accusing anyone of anything. We are just going off the facts that are out there at this point, and then we are doing some theorizing and some speculating based on those facts, which is what we do here in the true crime community. That said, let's get into the newest information on Abby and Libby's murders. Like I stated, there have been some very interesting new little tidbits of information that have come out. First, the judge has appointed 2 attorneys to represent Richard Allen. His attorneys are Bradley Rozzi from Logansport and Andrew Baldwin from Franklin. God bless them with the social media storm that is going to ensue. Next, we did get confirmation that investigators do believe that Richard Allen is Bridge Guy. Some of you may be thinking, well, yeah, he was arrested, but it's really not that simple. The charges are interesting because it's felony murder, and there's a lot of stuff about that in the comments in part 2 if you want to look through those. But bottom line, they never confirmed outright, unless one of you know this and can point me to an actual source where they said that the voice was definitively belonging to the image in the video. So now the biggest question, in my opinion anyway, that we need to clear up is, was Richard Allen the actual killer, or did he just lead the girls from the bridge to someone else? I personally thought that the most shocking revelation was that Richard Allen did go speak to a state conservation officer in the park that night on February 13th, the night that the girls went missing, and he told them that he had been there that day. Not only did he tell them that, but he actually placed himself on the bridge. Then he positioned it like, well, I was on the bridge around that time and I didn't see anything suspicious. Apparently, Richard Allen's forthcoming information and admission that he had been on the bridge that afternoon didn't raise any red flags with authorities, well, that we are aware of yet. But being that they knew for 5 years, it certainly doesn't seem that way. Here's where the language gets interesting and why I personally think it's still very obvious what's gone on behind the scenes. Investigators are still maintaining that after becoming frustrated with the lack of movement on the case, they went back to their files and old tips and then decided to give Richard Allen a fresh look, as if it was totally independent of Keegan Kline. Now, the reason I'm saying that they're using tricky language here is because it was also confirmed that the weeks-long search of the Wabash River was in fact connected to the Delphi murders. This is what a lot of us have suspected, but it's strange the way they're saying this. So we've already discussed that in previous videos. We're also now hearing that the river was searched as a direct result of Keegan Kline telling investigators that they would find a cell phone and a knife in the river. However, nothing was found during the search. However, as we've discussed, the timeline and chain of events since August all point to the investigators' discussion with Keegan Kline leading directly to Richard Allen. with the information we have available right now, I still believe that Keegan gave up Richard's name and other information in exchange for the dropped and reduced charges. It's just what makes sense. Based on what we've just learned about the Wabash River search, it's my guess that Keegan also pointed investigators to specific items at Richard Allen's home, which prompted that subsequent warrant and search. Again, that's just me speculating, but it would definitely make sense. Still sounds a heck of a lot like a deal was made to me, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what comes out. Obviously, this is all still theorizing and speculation, but I do believe that it's at least possible there is still at least one other person involved. It could even be the person who actually committed the murders. I did find it interesting that immediately after Richard Allen was arrested, Superintendent Doug Carter made a statement that Richard Allen was, quote, not cooperating. The phrase could obviously mean a lot of things. I just wonder if he means that Richard was not giving up any other names. I can't imagine how tense it must be in Delphi at the moment, with the citizens not knowing if anyone else was involved, a lot of the answers still being questions. I would think that the paranoia of local men would be at a fever pitch at this point, especially after it was discovered that Richard Allen was hiding in plain sight for all of these years. Also, there are a few things that just don't make any sense to me. And one of those things is this. So now we know that Richard Allen put himself on the bridge to the police that night. We also know that there were other witnesses who saw Bridge Guy and described him as around 5'6" and in his 40s. One would assume he also told his friends and family that he was there. I mean, again, it's a very small town. So if he did go the night of the murders and talk to police, as people are saying, why didn't anyone see that video, hear the audio, and put two and two together? Wouldn't that trigger in someone's brain, especially someone who's close to him, like, hey, that kind of looks like Richard, and he did say he was there that day. I do want to add to that and say, I've never been in this position, so it's very possible that anyone that did see that might have just been in denial, or it's one of those, kind of tricks your brain plays on you, like that couldn't be him. So, and, the image is very, very grainy, and we have this tiny portion of a 43-second video. So who knows? Again, I am not blaming anyone in it this time. I don't even believe that anyone else knew, and I won't believe that until we learn that as fact. But I just can't see for that many years that going on. So until we know any different, I don't believe that anyone in his family even knew. But I just think that's a little bit odd that nobody was like, hey, I know he wears that jacket, or that kind of looks like him, and didn't say anything. Or did people say something and it just didn't get followed up on? It'll be interesting to find those types of details out. So what do you guys think in light of the new information that we just learned? I'd also love to know what you think about investigators having Richard Allen's name since immediately after the murders. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please keep things respectful. I really do read every single comment, or at least I try to, and I love reading everyone's thoughts and opinions, whether or not they agree with mine. I will keep you updated on any new information on the case. The hearing to discuss releasing the probable cause documents is coming up on November 22nd. As far as the sealed document issue goes, I saw this on another completely unrelated case yesterday because some information was unfortunately leaked to the victim's family through social media. I have a theory that we're going to be seeing more of these sealed documents to protect investigations from the social media frenzy on these bigger cases. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and see you next video.